Let's jump right into this explainer. Managing a modern fiber optic network is an absolute beast of an operational challenge. But you know what the crazy part is? The fundamental roadblock for a lot of teams today doesn't come from the fiber itself, it comes directly from the tools they use. Relying on static drawing tools simply fails to meet modern demands. Today, we are breaking down exactly why an AutoCAD drawing is no longer enough to manage a fiber optic network and why upgrading your system is absolutely essential for your operations.
Seriously, think about this for a second. Have you ever looked up information on a specific section of your network, only to find 3 completely different versions of the exact same plan? The on-call technician holds one PDF. Engineering possesses another file entirely. Operations works with yet another document. Everyone genuinely believes they have the right file, but nobody actually possesses the same data. It is a massive roadblock for efficiency.
Which brings us to Section 1, the perfect drawing illusion.
Here is the fundamental issue with this perfect drawing illusion. An AutoCAD drawing is often flawless. It looks amazing and is detailed right down to the millimeter. But structurally, it acts purely as visual artwork. A cable is just a line. A pole is merely a block on a screen. Zonedge takes an entirely different approach. In Zonedge, that exact same cable has its own searchable attributes. It physically connects to real equipment within the system. You query it directly. The difference is literally night and day. AutoCAD gives you aesthetics, while Zonedge gives you a deeply functional operational database.
Let's look at a real-world example. Imagine Simon, a technician out in Hawkesbury. He just needs to know how many fibers remain available on a specific network section. With a static drawing, he faces this ridiculously tedious multi-step process. First, he opens the file. Then, he zooms way in just to read a tiny legend. Next, he cross-references that with a totally different document. And finally, he ends up just calling someone to confirm the details anyway. It is an agonizingly slow, manual process that heavily drains productivity.
Let's move on to Section 2. Stop searching, start finding.
Everyday operations suffer tremendously when you rely on static DWG files, PDFs, and endless Excel spreadsheets. A system based on AutoCAD or PDF files forces you to spend valuable minutes just making sure you even have the right version to begin with. Every single minute spent searching across multiple documents is completely unproductive time. We need a crucial operational mindset shift here. Stop searching and start finding. With Zonedge, the information arrives instantly. You search for an address, a facility, or an area, and boom, the data is right there, up to date and accessible to everyone simultaneously.
That leads us right into Section 3, one single source of truth. The very second those PDF and DWG files multiply across different departments, you instantly create severe version control problems. One version goes to operations, another stays in engineering, and a third gets printed out for the field. And guess what? They diverge almost immediately, because real-world changes happen constantly. We're talking about new customer connections, repairs after a failure, relocating physical equipment, and upgrades to increase capacity. The actual physical network changes much faster than static files keep up, leaving your data permanently behind reality.
Zonedge builds a vastly superior workflow to handle exactly this. Let's say it's Wednesday morning, and a technician named Mark finishes a job over in Cowansville. Using Zonedge Terrain, he immediately updates the network information and adds photos right on site. In real time, the Montreal office sees those live updates before Mark even gets back in his truck. Documentation no longer comes back from the field scribbled in a paper notebook. The system creates it right there on the spot, instantly synchronizing engineering, sales, and management.
Next up, Section 4, Manage, Don't Just Document.
This entirely elevates our conversation from the technician level up to strategic management. Strategic oversight requires actionable intelligence to make fast, accurate decisions. AutoCAD perfectly answers the first basic question, where is the cable? But that is exactly where its capability ends. When you ask, what is the available capacity, or which customers are affected by an outage, AutoCAD completely fails. Zonedge answers all of these strategic questions instantly. This proves the massive difference between simply seeing your network and truly understanding it.
So I will ask you this. Is your network just documented, or is it actually managed? When your team spend their days hunting for information in spreadsheets and static drawings, you lack a true management platform. You need a unified digital platform designed specifically for the realities of modern operations.
The core thesis really comes down to this one simple truth. AutoCAD lets you draw the network. Zonedge lets you manage it. AutoCAD is a fantastic drafting tool because that is exactly what it does. But managing, expanding, and coordinating an entire fiber optic network requires a system built for that exact purpose. Zonedge is that definitive solution. It is time to leave static paper drawings in the past where they belong. Transition to a unified, digital, and always up-to-date version of your field reality. Request a demo to modernize your operations and give your teams the exact tools they need to succeed. Start designing, operating, and innovating your fiber optic network today.